So Sony has just premiered their State of Play event for Ghost of Tsushima, and honestly it looks absolutely fantastic. We got to see gameplay and got to learn a little bit about it and its open world, and I thought it was worth talking about, as this is a game that I genuinely really like the look of. Firstly, we got to take a look at how exploring the open world is going to work. So firstly, the game doesn't seem to want to give us map markers or a compass or anything like that. It wants us to explore the world. That being said, you can call a gust of wind to point you in the direction that you need to go in order to follow a marker that you can set on the world map. I like the style of the world map. It looks pretty standard. You have question marks in the open world directing you towards undiscovered locations. It doesn't seem as if every point of interest is going to be marked with a question mark, reinforcing the fact that they want to give us that sense of exploration. Furthermore, the map looks to be an agreeable size, not too big and not too small, which is the best way. A map size that is only as big as it needs to be, but at the same time isn't too small, is often better than just having a massive world map for the sake of it, which is what a few games do. As a result of the map only needing to be so big, it will likely be rammed with content for us to find. After all, they seem to want to push exploring the world, so surely if you're going to emphasize that, then you're going to put a lot in the game for us to find. Horse riding in this game seems relatively fluid and looks really nice. So with any luck, it's as fluid as this gameplay demo allows us to think. You'll also notice pretty quickly that the open world in this game looks stunning. The colours really pop and it gives the environment character, and furthermore, there seems to be a diverse variety of environments, which in my mind is key to making sure that exploring an open world doesn't get boring. The video highlighted it, and it makes me really excited to play this game. Furthermore, the game draws you towards other points of interest in very interesting ways. The examples it gave were as follows. Wait, hang on, is that a volcano? Holy crap. Yeah, the game looks stunning anyway. The examples I was about to get into were smokestacks indicating people in need of help. Birds can lead you to points of interest such as hidden locations. If you see an abandoned building, it may contain rare resources. I don't know what it means by resources, to be honest, but I'm hoping these locations have stories with them as well. Am I the only one that's going to ask, what on earth does 13 supplies even mean? And foxes can guide you to hidden shrines across the island. It's a cool substitute for question marks on a compass, and I suppose looking into all this open world stuff will be useful in one way or another. Here, this shrine seemed to help you progress towards getting a minor charm slot, which I presume allows you for some sort of ability or maybe a perk. Once you visited locations, you can fast travel to them, which is pretty standard open world stuff. It also appears as if you can pat some foxes if you so wish to. I'm already falling in love with this game, I swear. So I think the primary focus of the open world is exploration, and an open world that focuses on exploration tends to wind up being my favourite kind of open world. The kind that actually has interesting stories and things filling it. Next, we get a little focus on the main protagonist, Jin, showing off gameplay taking on a camp both as a samurai and as the ghost, showing off some cool little features along the way, such as a standoff feature, in which you can challenge enemies to what appears to be a duel, which starts with a lot of staring each other down and then the best man wins. As a samurai, the game shows off the combat, and the guy playing the game in this demo doesn't make it look particularly difficult, however it does look fun all the same. The guy giving the voiceover mentions how you need to make every move count, and we also learn that if you wait until the last possible moment, your parry will open up your enemy, which gives you a good opportunity to kill them. You can also alter your combat stance, which allows for you to better handle different enemy types, so it's very useful that different fighting styles, if you will, are better against certain enemy types, and you can switch to that if you come across those kinds of enemies. This looks like a very in-depth but fun combat system. After we're shown the samurai approach, we're shown the ghost approach, which is described as stealthier but less honourable, in which the gameplay demo shows us the same camp, but at night this time and approached from the shadows. You can still choose the standoff feature apparently, but the ghost approach seems to be more focused on stealth elements, where you can use distractions to lure enemies, drawing them away and then stealthily killing them. When you sneak up on an enemy, it gives you the option to assassinate them, which feels a little bit odd as assassinate does not necessarily mean stealth kill, though I suppose thanks to it is sort of associated with just killing people stealthily now. Stealth kill animations in this game look fantastic, by the way. We get to see how you use different tools such as the bow in stealth, so if you can't sneak up on an enemy, you can at least kill them from a distance. There appears to be a chain assassinate feature as well, where you can assassinate 2 enemies at once. It looks awesome and I love it. I'd imagine it probably extends to the point where you can kill more than just 2 enemies at once maybe, but that's what this gameplay shows. The gameplay also shows the use of climbing and things to your advantage, showing off a little tools wheel as well. On one side you appear to have gadgets, and on the other side you have your combat stance, I presume. The gameplay then shows how you can use smoke bombs effectively in combat, maybe if you need to escape or if you need to gain the upper hand quickly. We can also use a throwing knife-like weapon, which you can use to quickly deal with enemies that spot you, for example. The gameplay also shows that when as the ghost, Jin can inspire fear in his enemies, which you can use to your advantage, which is very cool. After all, if you're very stealthy, for all they know you're a demon or a curse or something. There also appears to be a grappling hook in this game, which I mean, okay I guess. Doesn't appear as if the game relies too much on you using it, which is pretty damn cool. My problem with grappling hooks is games with them tend to rely on them quite a lot, but since it's used once in this entire gameplay sequence here, I think it's safe to assume that this game is a bit of an exception. The stealth gameplay in this game looks super cool. I reckon it'll be heaps of fun. The demo then moves on to show us a little bit of the customization. It appears as if you can equip all kinds of different attire, all fit for their own purposes. So the outfits give different mechanical advantages beyond just how they look. Now I'm curious as to what that means, as the video doesn't actually specify. Maybe one outfit gives you more health, or maybe another outfit makes you harder to spot. Maybe certain outfits allow you to move faster. I am curious as to what this actually means. I'm also wary of outfits having statistical meanings as well, as when I'm playing games I prefer visuals to be completely separate from stats, but that's fine. I will say the outfits shown off look really nice, as well as this background. I have noticed in the video the narrator says that different outfits will help accent your playstyle, which makes me think that the differences may be somewhat minimal, not to an unnoticeable extent, but if you want to look this way and play a different way, it shouldn't make too much of a difference, but we'll see on that front. Charms allow you to have an edge in battle, giving you like bonuses of some sort. On top of this, you can use technique points to learn and upgrade skills. No doubt you'll get those technique points by playing the game. The narrator says that as you progress, you will be able to decide how your techniques change as you go from a samurai to the ghost, making me think this game wants to support some agency for players of different playstyles. Now I feel like having this wide variety of playstyles is a good way to appeal to a larger audience, a more broad audience. Not necessarily to the point where the game seems too general based, but more so to the point where you feel like the game can be tailored more to what you want to experience, all the while staying true to what the game is trying to be. So I think that is really cool. Furthermore, when exploring, you can find flowers which you can use to dye clothes, which I think is also really cool. So despite the outfits having different perks, if you will, you don't necessarily have to look a certain way to take advantage of them. The video then goes to showcase the photo mode. I don't tend to ask much of photo modes. As long as the game has one, it's good enough for me these days. But this one's really cool, as while you're in the photo mode, everything seems to keep moving. The character's frozen, and presumably other characters have as well, but the world keeps moving and it keeps it alive. And you can also make videos based on that, using the filters and effects you would use in photo mode, even being able to apply soundtracks and logos. A game having a photo mode is good enough for me, as I've said before, but this one appears to be above and beyond, and I'm really excited to try it out for myself. You can also play the game with the dialogue fully in Japanese, and as cool as that is for detail, I've never cared less about anything in my entire life, so let's move on. There's also a samurai cinema mode where you can play the entire game in black and white or something, like an old samurai movie or something like that, and that's cool, I guess. Though this game's open world is so stunning looking in all its colour, I doubt I'm ever going to touch that. But that concludes what the Ghost of Tsushima dedicated State of Play episode shows us. And dare I say, this game looks absolutely gobsmacking and I cannot wait to play it. As of right now, it is one of my most anticipated games, and this has only enhanced my excitement. With a couple months to go until this game launches, time just can't seem to go quick enough. Of course, let me know what you think about all of this down in the comments section. Before we wrap up, I'd like to thank BenQ for sending me this screen bar, which terrifically lights up my setup in a really subtle way. I'm sure I'll talk more in depth about that at a later date, but I thought I'd just mention it. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends and all that wonderful stuff. That would be fantastic. And with any luck, I will see you all very soon with another video at some point. Until then, goodbye.